Southlake looks amazing everywhere you go, but the truth is, a serious money hides in a few ultra exclusive pockets where homes start from 2 million and the largest estates climb to over $25 million. Today, I'm breaking down the three neighborhoods where Southlake's wealthy actually choose to live and why these attract $1 million buyers, and which one I personally think has the best long-term upside. Stay with me for the last one because what's under construction there, and honestly, what's been happening on that Westlake border, is about to bring resort level living that's already catching the attention of pretty wealthy buyers. Before I show you these neighborhoods, you need to understand something that changes everything about Southlake's luxury market. Because once you see this pattern, you'll kind of understand exactly why these specific pockets command such insane prices while other parts of the DFW area don't. Southlake is attracting very specific type of wealth. And that wealth isn't spreading out evenly across the city. It's kind of clustering. And so I want to show you why. So here's the deal. Southlake is one of the highest earning cities, not just in North Texas, but in the entire country. And this is where big money has been moving for the last few decades. You've got major companies that are setting up huge offices just minutes away. You've got the Charles Schwab headquarters right down the road in Westlake. You got Fidelity, you've got Deloitte, and you have the massive Sabre campus. All these have pretty big footprints right here. And the executive world is growing pretty fast as well, with companies hiring tons of well-paid workers. Then you've got healthcare groups like Baylor Scott and White, Texas Health Resources, that keep expanding their presence in the corridor. And the finance world has a pretty big footprint here too. Of course, all this brings in executives, specialists, and professionals who need somewhere to live. And when you're at that level, you're not just looking for any type of house. You want something that feels special, and that's where Southlake planned communities come in. A lot of these neighborhoods were designed from the start for buyers looking at homes well over $2 million. So they come with things like pools that are very resort style. You've got world-class golf nearby and gated entrances and rules that keep everything looking clean, pretty, and tidy and good condition. But here's the interesting part, that the wealth in Southlake isn't spread out evenly. But here's the interesting part, is that the wealth in Southlake isn't spread out evenly. It stays in certain spots. So you might see a neighborhood where homes could average 1.5 million right next to one where the average is the millions, with luxury estates that are kind of ranging anywhere from 5 million to 25 million. And so that's the kind of pattern we're talking about today. So let's go through these three neighborhoods where Southlake's wealthiest families are actually choosing to live. First up is Carillon, coming in at number 3. And if you're the type of buyer who wants luxury with actual character and this artistic European soul, this neighborhood is probably going to blow your mind. It hits you the moment you roll past the gates. Carillon feels more like stepping into an outdoor museum or village in the French countryside than kind of like a standard Texas neighborhood. They've got this beautiful plaza, the Presidio, that sits right in the middle of everything, and you start to understand why people could actually live anywhere, choose this spot. Carillon is a master planned community. It covers about 285 acres behind the main entrances. And so from the beginning, the developers built this around one of the main concepts, that's walkable luxury, high-end architecture. They literally designed a village environment that you happen to live in. It's meant to be special, and that's why the moment you drive through, you can tell it's not just an average planned subdivision. The main highlight is the beautiful park system and grand monuments. They have this Italian and French style that looks like it was straight out of the old world. One of the main goals behind that vision was to create a community that felt permanent and artistic. There are large sculptures and monuments all over the place, and the art pieces that are sitting in a lot of green spaces set the tone. So there are also walking paths where you can enjoy everything while you're strolling with your family or neighbors. A lot of folks enjoy that outdoor space. Now, here's something interesting about who lives in Carillon. It's been home to high-level executives, entrepreneurs ever since the early stages. You're only minutes from Southlake Town Square, so people love the location and the kind of artistic nature of the community. But the story gets even crazier in the next neighborhood where a former professional athlete built a home that later set records. We'll get to that here in a minute. It's not only executives that you see in Carillon. You also see business leaders. You got professionals who enjoy culture and families looking for a stronger sense of community as well. And if you're wondering what the real cost of living in Carillon is, well, the median price is around 2.2 million. Homes can start around 1.8 and they go up to well over 5 million for the most high-end estates. And most homes range anywhere from 4,000 to 8,500 square feet, usually 4 to 6 bedrooms. One of my good friends who lives in that area is actually seeing some of the biggest builds coming online right now that are going to be well over 10,000 square feet. And I also believe some of these are going to be valued well over 6 million or maybe even 7 million once they're fully customized. When the community is fully built out, it's going to have that distinct estate section, which includes larger lots that are more than an acre. So those are made for custom luxury homes that start much higher. These can reach some pretty massive numbers. And of course, they've got great amenities. It's Carillon Amenities Center it's a resort style pool with beautiful water features, a playground area. It also has walking trails that go through the beautiful gardens that I mentioned earlier. And one of the coolest things is the way the development integrated the natural layout of the land. It's a pretty good setup for parents who want their kids to feel safe and connected in their schools. Of course, as for location, you're on the northern Southlake area near Highway 114 in Whitechapel. So you have access to the town square with more than 100 restaurants and stores. There's also the Hilton Southlake right there if you have guests coming in. And there's also Westlake that's right on the border if you want some even more high-end dining and retail. Carillon is all about luxury and character. And buyers who want a place that feels creative and personal end up there for a reason. But the next neighborhood on the list takes that same desire for identity and luxury to a different place. And that brings us to number 2, Monticello Estates. So we're looking at Monticello Estates because the way this neighborhood changed Southlake's entire luxury scene is pretty legendary. For a neighborhood that helped shape the market here, the security alone tells you that you're not looking at just another gated community. Monticello Estates is really the OG of Southlake luxury, covering nearly 200 acres of some of the most prime real estate in the city. It's tucked right off Continental Boulevard, but the moment you hit the guard gate, it feels like a private forest. The first homes here established the standard for what a Southlake estate really looks like. Massive footprints, grand entries, and lots that actually give you room to breathe. What really makes Monticello stand out is the security. This is Southlake's only true round-the-clock, 24/7 guard-gated community within the city limits. Whenever I say guard-gated, it means you can't just follow someone through the gate. You can do that in a lot of neighborhoods. Our realtor team can't just roll up to the gate and get in. They have to have a specific appointment. The seller or the buyer has to know that we're coming, and it's all got to be scheduled through the security office. You can't just show up and say, hey, I'm a real estate agent and I'm going to go check out a home. They're like, nope, you need to be on the list. So if our team sets up a showing there, they have to get all that approved ahead of time. They even have security patrols that drive the neighborhood. It's exactly the setup that attracts high-profile executives and people who want real privacy without leaving the city. If you're talking about the neighbors, it's been home to some of the most influential business leaders in Texas for decades. You see these massive custom homes, usually 6,000 to 10,000 square feet, but with amazing timeless architecture. But that's really nothing compared to the numbers you're going to see in our number one neighborhood, where some of the houses go all the way up to 25 million. It's on a completely different level. Before we get to that, let me show you the numbers you get in Monticello. The median price is around 3.5 million. Homes might start around 2.5 million and go up to 7, maybe 8 for the most high-end properties. Most homes in that $3 to $5 million range are sitting on lots that are a full acre or more. You've got massive trees, private ponds, and a level of quiet you just don't get anywhere else this close to the town square. The amenities feel like a private park. You've got tennis courts, walking trails, private lakes. Another great thing about this area is that community vibe. Even with the guards and the gates, the neighborhood hosts events, holiday parties that make it feel warm and welcoming. I put Monticello number 2 on the list because it was the first neighborhood in Southlake that really brought about this level of secure living. It set the standard long before the newer spots popped up. It's got history, the privacy, and some of the most established landscaping in the entire city. But I want to show you number 1 because what's happening on the border of Southlake and Westlake is completely changing what luxury looks like in North Texas. So without further ado, number 1, Westlake, this is Vaquero and Quail Hollow. All right. Okay. So I'm going to be straight up with you. What's happening in this neighborhood is on a completely different level than anything else in North Texas. We're talking about the Westlake area, specifically Vaquero, and the newer spots like Quail Hollow. And I'm telling you right now, this is the closest thing Texas has to ultra wealth. I mean, you can feel it the minute you drive in there, if you can get in. This whole area sits right on the border of Southlake and Westlake. Everything about this is going to be a completely different level. What makes this spot stand out right away is the location and the exclusivity. Vaquero is built around a world-class championship golf course designed by Tom Fazio. This is a private club that is hosting some of the most influential people in the world. The crazy part about this is that some residents can literally watch pro-level play from their backyard patios. And that alone tells you the type of neighborhood that we're talking about. Since development, it's always evolving here. Everything is high-end. They pulled in top custom home builders in the nation for these. Every home you see is completely custom, high-end, and different from the one next door. And of course, sizes are going to be are going to vary depending on the lot. But here's a quick breakdown. The interior lots are huge, but when you get to those hilltop or golf course lots, you're seeing 10,000 over 20,000 square foot builds. Some of these lots are multiple acres, which is the absolute gold standard in the area. And of course, for the buyers, this is where it gets interesting. It's well known that major celebrities, pro athletes have bought land here. You've got names from the music industry, the tech world, PGA Tour. I mean, it's not a surprise. It's exactly the kind of place that will attract the elite, major business owners, doctors, entrepreneurs. They all want privacy and a high-end level lifestyle with direct golf access. They want to be able to just walk on the course. Homes start at a minimum of $5 million and climb all the way up to $25 million for the big estates. Most of what you see falls between $7 to $15 million. And the lot price alone can reach over $3 million or maybe even $4 million, depending on the view. The homes are stunning. They have high ceilings, wide open layouts, massive glass walls, and of course, you see infinity pools, big patios, and outdoor living setups that look like a 5-star resort. The homes are kind of only half the story. The amenities are really, they push it into resort style level. Residents have access to the Vaquero Club. That's a private amenity center that is second to none. It has a resort style pool, big patio, and a full fitness center. It includes tennis, pickleball courts. It's got private dining and event rooms. And of course, if you love being outdoors, the trail system is one of the biggest draws as well. There are miles of walking and biking paths that go through the lakes and the trees, all with private entry points. Security is top notch as well. You've got guarded entrance with 24-hour protection, controlled access and cameras, and patrol cars. Privacy is a huge part of the value here. Now you've seen the homes, the amenities, and the location, but what matters for anyone considering this area is that this is where it gets interesting from an investment standpoint. The biggest piece of all this is the development around it. This area is the centerpiece of a massive economic engine. You've got the corporate headquarters I mentioned earlier, which keeps demand for these homes at an all-time high. From an investment perspective, this area has already shown incredibly strong growth, even during the slower markets. Homes here move fast, and with the limited amount of land left in Southlake and Westlake, property values are expected to climb even more. This is the top address for the wealthiest families in North Texas. When celebrities are buying land and the highest earning families are building estates, you know exactly where the real money is going. The wealthiest families aren't scattered. They're clustered in these rare pockets that offer privacy, identity, and a lifestyle you can't find anywhere else. And that's why the richest buyers keep coming back to these three main communities. And if you're serious about getting into one of these neighborhoods before prices start to move up even more, you need to move quickly. So reach out. All my contact information is below. My team and I would be more than happy to help you find your place right here.